What's going on, everybody? GemMint here. I was recently tagged by Very Gary in his top 10 MCU movies video, so I'm going to go ahead and give you my top 10 as well. And at the end of the video, I'm going to tag 2 more people so that they can give us their top 10. I did do a ranking video about 2 years ago when Captain Marvel came out. I ranked all 22 MCU movies at the time, so I think 5 movies have come out since then. And I did check my old list. The new list is a little different. You know, sometimes opinions change, movies sit with you a little bit longer, new movies might make the list. So if you saw that movie, this one is going to be a little bit different. Before we jump into it, make sure to hit that like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video. We're doing a giveaway for this sealed all new Wolverine Omnibus once we hit the next subscriber milestone of 135K. Stick around to the end of the video and I'll give you details on that as well. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this list. So number 10. Now already I'm looking at this list that I wrote the other day because Gary told me he was going to tag me. And I'm already questioning it a little bit. But I put the Eternals. I know it's surprising. I know some people hate it. Some people love it. Some people are indifferent. Me, I really thought they nailed the celestial aspect. If you look at this list, I'm all about the big cosmic scope. And I think in that sense, they did such a great job with the storytelling, the sheer size of the Celestials, and the Eternal stuff was like just a bonus for me. Like the powers were cool, their kind of story behind how they were created and what their purposes were, I like that as well. The visuals were cool. So Eternals makes my top 10. Moving on to number 9, this is also one that wasn't on my original list. I don't even know if the movie had come out yet or not. Anyway, I went with Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange, I think, was a great origin story, opened us up to the world of magic within the MCU, giving us the Sorcerer Supreme, Dormammu, and the Cloak of Levitation. All that stuff was awesome, a great visual movie, and I cannot wait to see what they do with the sequel. Number 8 on the list, I'm going Thor Ragnarok, another one that people either love it or they hate it. Me, I thought it was much needed for Thor. The franchise was going in a downward trajectory. You had Dark World, which people kind of put at the bottom of their MCU list. I thought Ragnarok was super fun. First of all, the Planet Hulk storytelling that they put within the movie, the battle was amazing. I like the new direction that they went with Thor. They kind of took a piece from like a webisode and made it his ultimate character. He wasn't that boring type of character that we had in Thor the Dark World. The stuff with Surtur was cool as well, that funny opening intro scene. I just overall really enjoyed this movie. The characters we got introduced to that would continue to play a role throughout the MCU. So Thor Ragnarok in my top 10. Moving on to number 7, we have Avengers Age of Ultron. I think it's another one that people are really torn about. I really liked Age of Ultron. I like seeing the team in action. We got the formation of the team in the first movie. Now they're a team. They're busting bunkers. They're working together. Amazing Hulk versus Hulkbuster fight. I feel like people don't talk about that anymore. Ultron, yeah, I mean, his kind of quirkiness and his jokes weren't really for me either. I thought he looked visually menacing. We got Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver in full effect here. They did fight a big horde of robots at the end, but I still thought it was a great movie, one of my favorite ones. Next up, we have number 6, which is Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Now, I don't think I've ever told anybody this, but I saw this movie before I read the Captain America by Brubaker Omnibus, so I didn't know that Bucky was the Winter Soldier. When I saw this happen in the theaters, I was legitimately blown away, and I was super happy to see them bring back Bucky. I didn't know anything about the character at this point. Of course, after the movies and later on, I went and read up on him, but only to find out that the movie mirrored so much of the comic series. But this movie was very important for the MCU. It kind of showed everybody that superhero movies can have different genres within it. It can have a spy thriller type of atmosphere and not just be a big beat 'em up type of flick. Really enjoyed Winter Soldier. It's a lot of people's number ones. I like it a lot. I like the tone of it. I love that opening action scene with Captain America taking over that ship. You really get an opportunity to see his powers and what he's capable of. The relationship with him and Black Widow. The Arnim Zola stuff was cool as well. I just don't really know if I like that big ending, the big tri-carrier scene or what have you, but I really did dig the movie. Next up, number 5, a movie that wasn't out yet at the time when I ranked all the MCU movies, and it's Avengers Endgame. I really loved Infinity War. Spoiler alert. Endgame was part 2 of Infinity War. I really think it should have been called Infinity Gauntlet, and Endgame should have been Infinity War, but whatever. Avengers Endgame was an epic battle at the end, the conclusion of the Infinity Saga that's been built up over a decade. The epic fight in itself was awesome. The time traveling aspect, I enjoyed it. I didn't see it coming. You had a time heist. I loved revisiting pivotal points and scenes within the MCU. I thought that was really cool. And overall, a big epic conclusion to the Infinity Saga. Number 4, we're on Avengers Infinity War. I really love this. I remember watching this in the movies, and when Thanos snapped and it really killed these characters, I was blown away. Even though I knew Spider-Man had a movie coming out, I knew these characters had to come back. Black Panther has a sequel coming out. But when it happened, it really was like, yo, I can't believe they actually did it. Thanos putting the stones together. This is an amazing movie. I love the big Avengers movies. Infinity War is one of the best. Number 3 is Guardians of the Galaxy. What a surprise, out of nowhere hit movie. The music was amazing. The visuals, each character had its distinct identity and was recognizable even though you had no idea who they were. But right away, you got a gist of who Rocket was, who Groot was. You had Drax and Gamora and Star-Lord. I thought the characters all had a lot of charisma. The overall storytelling of the unlikely team assembly, I really enjoyed. The sequel wasn't as strong in my opinion, but I really loved the first volume. It kind of showed Marvel could take unknown properties and make household names out of these characters, which may have led to hurt them in the future, and a lot of that's yet to be seen. This was a movie that I would throw on in the house and just have it on while I was bagging and boarding comics and not even necessarily watching it. But I've watched it multiple times. All right, the next 2 are hard. They're a little interchangeable for me, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. Number 2 is Marvel's The Avengers, the first one. This was mind-blowing for me. I had been watching the other movies as they've been coming out. Iron Man, Captain America, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, and getting the Nick Fury teases at the end of those movies that they were going to come together and form the Avengers. For the first time ever, a movie that combined 4 different franchises, plus introducing us to Hawkeye and Black Widow. Love this movie. I've seen it in movie theaters multiple times, which I think is the only movie that I've ever done that with. I've obviously watched it on Blu-ray a million times as well. Loki was amazing. I mean, still the best MCU villain that we've had. Thanos too. The first one that really kind of lasted longer than just the movie. He's no Yellow Jacket or Ironmonger, a character that would lead to have his own show eventually, right? I love the formation of the team when Hulk purposely transforms into the Hulk. I think that's my favorite MCU scene of all time. Goosebumps, I love it. Amazing movie. So you already know what number 1's got to be. It's got to be Iron Man, the first one. Robert Downey Jr. birthing the Marvel Cinematic Universe as we know it, giving us a realistic take with Marvel's own style. It didn't feel like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies or the Bryan Singer X-Men movies. It definitely didn't feel like the goofy Batman by Joel Schumacher from the 90s, or even the Tim Burton Batman stuff, or the Richard Donner Superman stuff. It had its own identity. It felt new and fresh. It respected the source material. The CGI was amazing. Iron Man designed by Adi Granov, a comic book artist. And of course, Robert Downey Jr., who's born to play Tony Stark. All mixing for the perfect storm at the perfect time to create the whole reason why we're even here. I mean, how many of us got back into comics because of this movie and because of the MCU? The dialogue, everything about it, absolutely love it, and easily my number 1. Well, I say easily. Avengers is up there too, but Iron Man's got to be my number 1. And there we have it. That's my top 10. Drop me a comment down below what your top 10 MCU movies were, and that's going to enter you into the giveaway for the all-new Wolverine Omnibus. Once we hit 135K, I'm going to pick a random video where I promoted the giveaway and use a random YouTube comment generator to draw a worldwide winner. I might pick this video, it might be another one. Also, I'm going to tag 2 channels to give me their top 10 MCU movies. I got to tag my other partner in top 10s, Rockin' Robbie Billups, and I want to bring it over to the statue community as well, and I'm going to tag Mr. X from the Extreme channel. So guys, whip up those lists, drop the video, and make sure you tag 2 people as well. That's all I got for you today, but I appreciate you watching. Don't go anywhere. Check out my other top 10s in the playlist to the right, as well as my statue unboxings and weekly comic book reviews. Stay minty fresh. Peace.